The Academic Staff Union of Universities, ASUU, has leveled up the strike actions indefinitely. Reason being that the government is not sincere in their dealings with them. Details of this coming right away. My name is ADS. Now let's get to this. It's now 6 months since ASUU strike began, and as of today, the strike has been declared indefinite by the union. Where exactly are we headed with this? Every right-thinking Nigerian would have thought the recovered $23 million Abacha loot, which is about 15 billion naira, would have been channeled into resolving ASUU strike. But that did not happen. Here what the ASUU chairman, Professor Emmanuel Osodeke, said in this regard. Watch.
Abacha loot was the agreement for the repatriation was signed. There were those who felt that the government should have channeled that money to ASUU. Would that have had any impact on ASUU's position?
Definitely. If, let's take a typical man, you have a house and your children are sick, your child is sick, seriously, and you have paid money and you were not expecting, where will you put the money? So that child should be the first thing you will treat, is it not? Right before you start thinking about how you are going to buy clothes. Or you basically are short for 6 months. You now have access. You keep saying there's more, and then a fund that you were not expecting came. Where should you, if we really love education, put the money? In that particular place. But you are seeing it. You are seeing how the country is doing. You see, you don't have money. So what are we saying? We need to love this country.
Indeed, the government is not moved by ASUU strike. They told us they channeled the recovered loot to projects already budgeted for and funds released. Whereas there is a bigger problem facing the country. This is really pathetic. Guess their happy students are sitting idle at home, forgetting that the idle mind is the devil's workshop. Hope they will be able to contain the danger they are brewing today, not resolving ASUU strike. Well, I'll see how all of this will play out. What are the real issues that has made this strike linger for too long? Hear from the horse's mouth. Watch.
What would make ASUU call off the strike? What are some of the demands that you could let go of?
One, government should tell us and Nigerians, this money you say you have approved is alleged to have approved for revitalization. How much is it and where is it lodged? Where will it be released? Two, UTAS, that from the test and government have confirmed it, that UTAS came top, as we agree with the meeting with the head of service, chief of staff and all others. Has UTAS been accepted as means of paying salary? Have you found out that IPCs, they have confirmed that IPCs came distant last, which is not good, and sent a panel to look for that. If they have accepted, have they accepted that? Three, have they accepted the agreement we reached with the panel? They should come and tell us this, not just going to the press. It's who they should come to, not to the press. You should call us for a meeting and then we'll look at it. Not to the press. Not to the public.
Okay, before now, government alleged they have approved 50 billion naira for ASUU for revitalization. ASUU is asking where the money is lodged in. Again, ASUU is asking if the government have accepted to use the payment platform they devised by themselves, which has been tested by the government to be efficient and better than the IPPS platform used by the government and controlled by the accountant general, which is full of corruption and manipulations. ASUU is asking if the government have accepted to abide by the agreement they both had together, and that the government should deal with them directly and not blackmailing them before the press. These are the pressing issues keeping students at home today. Is government or ASUU willing to shift grounds on this issue? I don't think so. According to ASUU, there's a reason why Nigerian universities are ranked least among other universities in the world, and this is part of what they are fighting for. Hear what the ASUU president or chairman said in this regard. Watch.
Today, let me put it, I will be repeated all over again. The basis for you to access a lecturer. University is universal. And that's why any country you go in this world, you see Nigerian lecturing. When you come to Nigerian university, you don't see a single foreigner teacher, not even from Benin. So for you to have a university well ranked, you have to, one of the indices they use that you have to have foreign lecturers teaching in the university to be well ranked, bringing their own knowledge, bringing their own background. You should have students from all over the country, all over the world, school, come as students in the class. But in Nigeria today, you don't have such thing. Why? Because of what you pay your lecturers.
And I agree 100%. In the 70s and in the 80s, when $1 was equivalent to 85 kobo, we had foreign lecturers here. We had foreign students too. All because our educational system was on point and lecturers were well paid. But that's not the case today. All through my stay in the university, I never met any international student or even a foreign lecturer. No, I never did. University is universal. Why is our own on the local level? With this record, there's no way we will ever be ranked among the best universities in the world. It's very, very obvious. Now, in a bid to frustrate ASUU strike, government imposed no work, no pay. How will this affect the ASUU struggle? What's the chairman's response? Watch.
Instead of addressing the issue, I don't know, no work, no pay. Now, let's talk about no work, no pay. In my letter of appointment, and every lecturer in all Nigerian universities, just like you have in the world, the function of a lecturer is teaching, research, and community service. Those are the three trajectory of the function of lecturer. So if you're on strike, the only thing you're not teaching, which is one of the function of the lecturer is you're not teaching. When you go to you see our colleagues in offices, you see them all over the way doing their research as part of their job, doing community service. So that is one asset. So if you are remove one and you are not finished, you are talking no work, no pay. That is one too. Unlike other areas, if the school resumes today, all of us will go back to where we stopped, 2020, 2021, and start making up for the time lost, for the period lost. What does that mean? When the university, there were no strike, when the university was running in the 70s, 80s, an average semester is 17 weeks. And in a session, you have 2 weeks, 2 semesters, which is 34 weeks. Out of 50, how many number of weeks in a year, 50-something weeks in a year. What that means is that you teach for 34 weeks, and you go on vacation, not leave. You go on vacation to go and relax, do your research, and come back after 3 months. 2 to 3 months, if you add the 2 semesters to start. But in the recent time, because of this strike, all the lecturers will forfeit all these vacations, forfeit all their leave to make up for what they have lost. So when I'm resuming now, I should be going on leave on that vacation. But we are going to go back to teach those things we have left. Bring those students. I have said it before and I will repeat it. And you can ask the university. The university where I teach, we have not lost a session. So if government said that when we come back, we should allow the children to just stay and start a new session. As I was speaking to you, there are 2 sets of students that have been admitted by JAM. 2 sets. We are going to teach them, bring them up. I would say we should allow those 2 tests to go, and allow JAM do another one, and allow Nigerian students who are past JAM to allow those JAM to wash away. So these are the things. That's why I'm saying that to come with a threat that no work, no play. Is that where we are now? Have we reached there? Have they, look, we can tell about one no play if we have resolved all the issues. I still start to resume. But what did they do? To set up against the student, to set up against the people, to blackmail us.
Exactly. No matter what happens, only time has been lost and not the academic syllabus. Whenever all of this is over, students will still be taught all they are supposed to know before exams. So the lecturers will go back to teach them where they stopped. You get the point. You can't deny them their pay when the exact work you claim they have not done will eventually be done. That's wickedness. Solve the problem that instigated this strike and not look for who to punish. ASUU is not even bothered, because if they are, this strike will not be declared indefinite. Now, there are rumors that some universities are pulling out of ASUU strike already. How true is this? Hear from the chairman.
The person on the government asked me a question, just like you have asked me now, that your members in 3 universities have abandoned this thing. He named them LASU, and I gave them that LASU will have problem with them, and because the university sacked all our all the leaders of our union in the brand. That's why they're on strike. That in Ekwasu, they are not even a member yet. We gave them, we are watching them, and they are not meeting the standard. And that Oshun, that they were punished for breaking our strike, and that they are part of the problem.
So this university is having issues with ASUU. When ASUU eventually gets what they are asking for from the government, which also includes their welfare, Will these universities also partake in it? There's always a price to pay for being rebellious. One of the strong reasons why ASUU embarked on this strike is to improve the learning standard of our universities. Hear the chairman talk on the effects of poor education, on the Nigerian nation of today. Watch.
In the 70s, 80s, I don't know where you were then in early 90s, you don't hear a building collapsing in Nigeria. You don't hear it. But today, there is no week a building does not collapse. Because a student passed through a university where you are using stove as a Bunsen burner. When in your generic office workshop, there is nothing. They are passed out. Just like Nigeria says that, allow them to graduate. They graduate and they are the one heading those buildings you are seeing. They are the one now who now supervising those buildings when they have no idea of the practical component. And all of us are paying the price. Go to our road. A road is started today. Go the next year, is gone. Because the man who you put there, the person who passed through the university without any practical component, without any this thing, he passes through, and he just look at the road, he sees star, he says, thank God, it's okay. By next year, you pass, it's bad. And if you don't do something urgently, I enter the medical team. You can enter a hospital, you have headache, they say you have cancer. Because the doctor didn't have all the complement of what you want. That is why any country that play with education, they say just graduate people, whether the thing is okay or not, graduate them. You are playing with the life of your people. And that's exactly where we are today. And I hope Nigeria and the government should, for once, if one man can steal 109 million, let us steal 109 billion. And what ASUU is asking is not 109 billion. And the government says there's no money in your education. I don't think we should, for once, love this country and love our people.
This is so relatable. The standard of education in this country is bad. I went to a school that from my 100 level, I learned in a congested classroom, no ventilation, and the classroom is as big as anything. You can't even see the lecturer properly talking, from where you are seated. Talk more of seeing what the lecturer is writing on the whiteboard. Yet, I was studying engineering. Our laboratories are gone. They are nothing to write home about. This is the struggle. Since the strike has been declared indefinite, I wonder what will happen next. Students might have to sit at home till this present administration expire. Please, to ensure we say enough of all of these anomalies happening to us in this country, make up your mind to vote come 2023. Let's get it right in this coming election, and I will see you again.